So this is a personal share. It's because it's personally about me. I was just shooting some videos and updating some stuff on my website and my YouTube channel. And one of the things I really noticed is how tired I look. And I have been extremely tired for pretty much most of January. And I mean, I'm kind of tired of being tired, and I'm not quite sure. I've been wondering, like, what is going on with me? And every time I tap into spirit and I ask and I check into the Akashics and I look at my soul alignment and I go, why am I so tired? And what they keep telling me is that I'm growing. My energy body is shifting. My DNA is shifting. I'm a lot of the toxic energy that's been inside me is actually releasing, and they're telling me that this, and so I'm having a lot of physical symptoms where I've got a lot of aches and pains, and I feel swollen, and I've actually put on a lot of weight, and over the last few months and everything, and they're telling me that this is a side effect of all the upgrades that have been going on. And so I'm like, okay, great, I'm evolving, but I'm feeling horrible and I'm looking like a wreck. I'm kind of looking like my hair is a wreck, my eyes are tired, I feel exhausted. And I said, this can't really go on. And one of the things that Spirit is working with me is telling me that my lifestyle, and particularly the way I take care of my body, has gone out of alignment with honoring who I am as a soul. And so when we are living really of the focus, how do I say this? A focus really on a third dimensional life, our bodies can handle being in more toxic environments. But as we become more awake to our energetic sensitivities, our energy bodies, and we embody more of our soul, and as the earth is ascending, we're becoming a lot more sensitive to the toxins in our environment, the toxins within our bodies. And so Spirit has really been pushing me towards going back, and I had gotten away from this because life had gotten so busy and I had gotten so overloaded with life. I had moved away from my plant-based diet. I had moved away from my natural products. I lean that way, but I've never been, over the last 5-10 years, I've really moved away from my focus on it and my balance with it, really. And I have actually been bringing a lot more toxins into my life. The shampoos are actually more mainstream toxic shampoos with chemicals. There's more chemicals in my shampoos, and in my some of my food, I've got more processed food versus my homemade food. I've been eating out more. And unfortunately, unless you live somewhere near really good quality eating out food, our eating out is generally very toxic food. It's not grown in healthy environments. Plants are stressed. The nutrients of the soil aren't quite there. And then, of course, there's a lot of chemicals and pesticides used in the mainstream food. So if it's not an organic restaurant, if it's not farm sourced, you tend to get these chemicals into it. And as our bodies evolve, we become more sensitive to it. And that's what's happening to me, and why I've been so tired and really just struggling and being involved. So I've been trying. My theme for January is balance. Actually, it's not my theme for January. See, I can't even think straight. It's my theme for the year, and that is balance. I want more balance in my life. I want more balance in self-care. I want more balance in my relationships. I want more balance in my work life. I want more balance in coordination between my work, my play, my health, my personal time. I want more balance in all the different areas of my life. And that's why balance is such a big thing for me this year. And it's like I'm going through this massive clean out or whatever, and I'm not keeping up with it. And I'm noticing it is affecting the way I think and the way the energy levels I have. I'm sleeping through my alarm clocks. I don't know what's with that. And whereas I go through a lot of periods in my life where I've been so attuned with what's going on in my life that I don't even need an alarm clock. And yet right now, I can't even wake up to an alarm clock. I sleep through everything right now, and it's kind of frustrating because there are things that I am responsible for doing on a schedule to keep in harmony with the rest of the world, right? And an alarm clock is one of those tools that helps that. Even like I've been working, my hair has even gotten tired, and it's again, I'm just working towards it, and I can see it in my face. And some people can chalk it up. I did turn 50 this year. So some people can chalk it up, oh, you're just getting old, but I don't feel like I'm just getting old. I feel like this is more, not just getting old. Inside who I am, I feel younger than I have ever felt, but physically it's like all of a sudden, whap, overnight, I'm feeling extremely old. And so that is a flag to me that this is not just natural aging. This is something bigger than that. So I don't even know why I started this video other than just to share that, because maybe some of you are going through the same thing I'm going through. Maybe you might be dealing with SAD, which is seasonal. What is it? Seasonal something. I don't know. It's this January blues. Okay, that's what I forget what this SAD stands for. But anyhow. Something seasonal, something disorder. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, you may be dealing with that. You may be dealing with depression. You may feel unconnected. That's another thing that I'm going through is a lot of I don't feel connected to the elements of my life, to the people in my life. I don't have energy to have conversations that I used to have. I don't have... which has actually been quite beneficial because I find I talk less, which I've had a lot more people opening up to me, which is great. And this is on my personal side. This is not my business side. It's a funny thing when I do my work, when I'm working with my clients or I'm working, I'm doing spirit work, I get this jolt of energy and it's almost like a high that I get. It's just it just lights me up. So this is not work related. That's another thing, because over the years of having done spiritual work, there have been times in my life where I've just really gotten tired of doing the work, especially when I deal with past life, because human history is pretty ugly and it can make me feel, I can get kind of depressed at how horrible people are to each other and how many scars we leave on each other. So I have gotten fatigue from actually doing the work, but part of that was my evolution and growing and learning how to manage that and learning how, shifting perspectives within myself and understanding it and just learning to handle compassion fatigue, right? So I've learned those, and I don't find that anymore. Now I find my work rejuvenates me, so that's really good. But here in January, I haven't had the energy to really focus, and I've been dropping the ball in places that I normally wouldn't. So anybody who I've maybe dropped the ball with, these are probably more people, coworkers type of thing, but I apologize, right? I'm human. I'm doing the best that I can, just like the rest of us. Anyhow, that's what I wanted to say. If you are going through and feeling any of these things that I'm talking about today, the extreme fatigue, I'm getting a lot of nausea as well. So when I eat wrong, I tend to get nauseated. And I don't mean eat wrong like whether I'm eating junk food or I'm eating a salad. It's more sensitive than that. It's like when I'm eating, I can have a chocolate bar and it's still not healthy for your body, right? But it doesn't affect me the way if it is from a ethical source with quality ingredients, I tend to be okay with it. But if it's like a cheap version from the corner store, it tends to have a really bad effect on me. And that I'm fighting with everything when I drink, when I have any kind of food that is mainstream processed or anything like that. I'm getting nauseated. I'm getting very mucousy and congested from it. And I'm feeling exhausted, right? I get run down even more than I am normally right now. If you're noticing that, if you're noticing that you're more tired, if you're noticing that you're withdrawn, if you're noticing that you just sort of in this funny state, this is part of the ascension. Okay, when I say this is part of the ascension, this is your body upgrading. It's actually a very good sign. Okay, so take care of yourself and give yourself that self-love, self-care. This is what I've been working on, and boy, do I ever notice a difference. Like, it's just when I got away from doing my weekly salt bath, right? And so I went and had an Epsom salt bath the other day, and oh man, did it ever make me feel better. I could just feel that the energies just come right off of me. Well, that's a self-care thing. Epsom salt baths help remove a lot of that toxic energy physically as well as emotionally and mentally. It's an amazingly powerful substance to removing negative energy from us. I'm also much more sensitive with who I hang around with and with other people's energy. So when I go out, I'm a lot withdrawn, and I'm actually kind of choosing to go out quieter times. So you may want to consider adjusting your schedule if you can, doing what you can for yourself, honoring what your needs are. Really important to doing that as you're going through this ascension. Give yourself the rest, take the naps. I've been taken to napping again. I haven't napped since my kids were little, but I've been full on taking like an hour or two nap in the afternoon and then still being exhausted and going to bed at 10 o'clock and sleeping, right? So I've also found, here's another one that you might notice with the ascension upgrades too, is that you're waking up somewhere between 2 and 5 in the morning, generally closer to 3. That is interesting because at 3 in the morning, there is something that happens. So 3 in the morning is known as the witching hour. The reason why it's known as the witching hour is because the veil in our subconscious is the thinnest at that point. So we actually have more access to our higher energies at 3 a.m. This is why seances were used to in the 1800s. Seances and the early 1900s, seances were done at 3 a.m. in the morning. That was the ideal time for it. It's because there's actually, when you go to sleep, most people go to sleep somewhere around 10 or 11. And the sleep process and the chemicals that are shifting and releasing in your body at 3 a.m., the chemical alignment in your body actually has your pineal gland at the most active receptivity for spirit to speak to you. So if you find yourself waking up at that time, get up, grab a journal, do some meditating, do some connecting with your guides, with the light beings, connect with source, all of that, light workers. It's a powerful time. So if you're waking up at that hour, that's the reason. Spirit's trying to communicate more with you and pay attention. All right. If you want to stop waking up at that hour and have a more solid night's sleep, because maybe your schedule requires that, then step up your meditation practice. Step it up, meaning set a time, honor it on a regular basis. So every night at 9 o'clock, go into meditation and invite your guides to communicate with you. Have a journal, do a brain dump with your journal. These are all things that help the communication. So if you honor it on a regular basis at a particular time every single day, then your spirit guides will sleep actually better through the night because they won't be waking you up when the veil is thinnest. Okay, just a little tip on that one. But if they are, there's times, and that's another one as a healer, and any of you healers, because I know there's a lot of healers that reach out to me and I work with them a lot. If you're a healer and you're waking up at those hours, this is another thing that can happen to me, is when I have people who are in crisis, Spirit tends to wake me up at 3 a.m. to do healing work through the Akash with them. So this can be sometimes, well, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but Reiki is always a foundation for me. So I usually connect in with Reiki, and I usually connect in through the Akashic, and then I let my guides guide me as to what the healing is required for the person, and I send it to them. So I'm often doing it at 3 a.m. That's probably another reason why I'm so tired right now is my cat has been very sick for just over a week now. She is recovering. She's an older cat, and we really were worried that she got into some serious health issues and took a turn for worse suddenly, and we were really worried that she wasn't going to make it because she is older. But she has rallied and she's doing really good. She's now she's boosting back up. But so I have actually all last week I was giving her Reiki during the day, but she was, especially in the first few days, she was in such crisis. She was actually waking me up. Spirit was waking me up during the night. The first couple days I was waking up twice a night, and then in the morning giving her Reiki. And I was sleeping actually in the same room as her because she was requiring so much. That has actually calmed down. Last night she, actually no, I did wake up. I think in the night before I might not have. I might have slept through the night before and she didn't need anything, but I had gotten up early and given it to her. But yeah, so she's needed it at that time because it's the same, the veil's open, the flow is there. It's honor it if you can. So be aware of what you're eating. Be aware to try and eat more. Now, this is my personal opinion when it comes to our health. It is not about whether or not you are vegan or carnivore, keto, or whatever. I mean, if there's medical issues, obviously, but as far as your ascension is concerned, there is not really a difference in any diet. You have to, where it comes into is you being in harmony with your diet. And from my understanding and what has ever been shown to me, that the more you are aligned, your diet is aligned to Mother Earth, and meaning natural, the better it is for your body. Okay, so if you are eating meat, that's okay. Source out ethical meat where the animals have been treated the most humane. Okay, I struggle with meat because I'm in Canada, and Canada is very controlling over how the animals are killed. Okay, and so they have to be sent to a slaughterhouse, and it's done there. And the trauma that actually happens to the meat, to the animal, in transport from the farm to the slaughterhouse, and then what happens at the slaughterhouse is so traumatizing to these animals that there is stress hormones flooded through the system. And that is in the meat. And the more sensitive I am, the more I feel that. So it can be really, really hard. That's where I end up struggling a lot with meat, is because of that. So one of the ways that you can help with that, because it's really hard. You can get meat that is raised. I used to raise cows here on our property, so I knew where they come from. I knew what they were being fed. I knew everything. I used to go out and sit with my cows and give them Reiki, and they were in this loving environment, and I did the best I could through the whole process. That we weren't allowed to do it here, so we had to send them off. And anyhow, I did my best that I could with that. But even now, I don't do that. We don't do that on the farm anymore. But we have nursing cows now, actually, every once in a while, which is awesome. Every year, the last few years, we've had mamas and babies. So we've had a few cows born here, and it's been so sweet. Anyhow, but they're not ours. So this is not, we rent it out. But anyhow, Not what I was wanting to say. What I was wanting to say is source out the best food you can, but placing your hands over your food. If you know Reiki, call on the Reiki energy and send it into your food. And this is actually not just meat. It's especially important when you're doing meat, but really any food that you do. Put your hands over top of it. Let the energy flow out of your hands. Let spirit bring that energy through you to heal and heal any wounds, shadows that are attached to the meat or the food, right? Because it can happen in vegetables as well. And to raise the to raise the vibrations towards love and health and nutrition. Okay, so when we allow spirit to put that into our food, it does help raise the vibration of the food to align to us for ascension purposes. Okay, so that's another really important thing to do, is blessing our food. Being aware of what foods are sensitive to us. So we are all on different levels of health and ascension process, and different foods work differently in your body. Some of us can handle wheat and it doesn't bother us. A lot of us can't handle wheat. Certain vegetables, celery is very hard to digest. Garlic can be hard to digest. Onions can be hard to digest. Tomatoes can be. These are all common things that the bodies can struggle with. So you may want to dial in and be aware of what your body's personal sensitivities are, because they will be affecting you more right now as you're going through ascension. Maybe I should do another video on some of the health benefits of ascension, or maybe I'll clip this video. I don't know. Anyhow, I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is not too much of a ramble for everybody. Whoever's watching this, if anybody's watching this, I don't know. Help me build my channel, people. Share my videos. Get this word out there. Anyhow, subscribe, like, whatever. Share my videos. Reach out if I can help in any way on you going through your ascension. And I'll continue to share with you me going through my ascension. And right now, I think I'm tired of, I'm going to go and have a break. So I'm going to end this video right now. It was lovely chatting with you. Bless you all. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Self-care is everything. We're all on this ride together. And love you.